And members of the BC Conservative Party are having their say in the leadership review of John Rustad. The process has been marred by allegations of ballot stuffing and fake memberships. The party says more than 2,000 signups were cancelled over concerns they were fraudulent. Voting on Rustad's leadership will be completed by Saturday. And to look ahead to that, we're joined by the BC Conservative Party whip, Bruce Banman. He is the MLA for Abbotsford South. Good morning, Bruce. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
I almost say good afternoon.
Yeah, well, wishful thinking. I'm not sure I like this no sun till next year, but
I know.
we need to talk with your meteorologist about that.
I'm going to have some strong words with him.
Yeah, me too.
Let's start, though, with John Rustad. Do you have confidence in him as leader of the BC Conservatives?
I'm so glad you asked me that. John and I are two of the OGs, the old goats, I guess you might say. And by the way, that joke didn't cost the taxpayers a nickel. And it probably is bad enough it wasn't worth a nickel at that. But John and I John got kicked out. I crossed over. I've been with John since day one. I have great confidence in my leader. John took this party from two of us to becoming within a hair of actually forming government. I don't think anybody else in British Columbia or Canada, for that matter, would have been able to do what he's done. I have great confidence in him. He is thoughtful, he is calm, and that's exactly what we need in British Columbia right now. And I would say that I am proud to stand beside John, and I will continue to stand beside John.
Bruce, what do you know about the irregular signups that happened?
Well, my understanding is, and I can't really comment on it too much because my understanding is a report has gone into, I believe, Elections BC. Mm-hmm. There was approximately 2,000 that were signed up, I guess, or tried to. Here's the important thing. First off, this kind of stuff has been going on in parties for a long, long time. The Green Party right now has got issues with signups. I would remind those that David Eby found a convenient way to cancel a young woman that actually outworked him and signed people up legitimately, I might add. But here's the important thing with regards to the Conservative Party. They weren't signed up. They were attempted to be signed up. And the safety nets that are put in place caught it, stopped it, and now there's a report going on. So I've got 100% confidence in what's going on with regards to the vote. I don't see this as being an issue other than there was an attempt, and that is now being dealt with in an appropriate manner. And
you're confident in the membership list that exists now?
Oh, absolutely, because you take a look at, they know when you go up. Like I went through this in my writing. So first off, none of this makes any sense because here's what you got to do. You got to show up in person. And what the party decided to do is to go from region to region to region to maximize the ability of the grassroots to be able to vote so that they didn't have to spend a lot of money coming in. It wasn't done by mail-in, wasn't done online to maintain the integrity because I had to show up. I had to show my ID. And then and only then was I allowed to vote.
And David Eby has said this is large-scale fraud. How do you describe the 2,000 irregular memberships?
If I was David Eby, I'd be looking at anything I could right now to take the microscope off of myself and try and put it onto somebody else. Let's face it. Nothing is better in British Columbia because of 10 years almost of the NDP mismanagement of this province. His ratings are plummet. We are now polling above the NDP. We're at 45%. I think they're at 40 or 41. So we have surpassed them. If I was David Eby, I would want to get the concentration off of the crime in the streets, the rampant drug use, the fact that the economy is bad, healthcare is bad, the fact that all the public sector employees are on strike because they've stuffed management and bloated the bureaucracy. He's talking about pipelines. He's got a fire on his hands himself. And I would do anything I can to try and do that. But David, actually, I think needs to put a cork in it, because he's the one that made sure that that young woman was not allowed to vote and run against him when she was outworking him and outselling membership. So, David, go look in a mirror, brother.
If we focus back on your party, members are voting today. What do you see happening?
Do you believe that John remains the best person to lead the BC Conservatives?
Sorry.
That went along seamlessly.
Ask you, we had a bit of a technical issue there. I'll ask you again. Members are voting today. What do you see happening?
Oh, I see a normal vote. Yesterday, there was a vote in Vernon that went along seamlessly. I see the same thing happening today. And for the last couple of votes that are going to take place, you know, the vast majority of the province has already voted. Province members that are members of the Conservative Party of British Columbia. The turnout has been low, but actually that's a sign of generally faith in your leader. People that are disgruntled, that's whenever there's disgruntlement, that's when you have high voter turnout. The fact that it's low is actually not a bad thing. I think it's actually going to turn out well for John, but we'll see what the numbers say when they're done.
And your colleague Peter Millibar was asked repeatedly this week if he has confidence in John Rustad. Let's just have a listen to a compilation of some of that.
Do you believe that John remains the best person to lead the BC Conservatives?
So I've had others ask me this leading up to this. I don't discuss what goes on inside a caucus room, absolutely. Is there some troubling reports starting to emerge? Yes, there are.
I want to hear your thoughts on his leadership. Do you have confidence in him?
Well, again, we're working through things as a caucus. I stand by my previous statement with Richard, and we'll see as things unfold.
So Peter Millibar would not say if he has confidence in John Rustad's leadership. What do you make of that response? Is that a sign of some dissension in the party?
No, I don't think it's a sign of dissension in the party. We're a big family, and families often have squabbles, and that's a healthy thing. I would just put that as somebody being stuck in front of a camera that wasn't really sure what they wanted to say, and trying to avoid some of the, you got to go back. This is a couple of days ago when we really didn't know.
I would argue it's not hard to say whether you have confidence or not in somebody. It's not something that requires a lot of thought.
Well, I can't speak on behalf of Peter. You've asked me what I think. I'm 100% behind John. Caucus will be behind John, and I think it's premature. We need to find out what the numbers of the vote actually say. And I'm pretty confident that John will have a great turnout on this for satisfaction. And we'll have to wait until the numbers are. I can tell you that I am 100% behind my leader, and I have confidence that he is going to be the next Premier of British Columbia.
We're going to have to leave it there for time, Bruce, but I really appreciate you taking time with us this morning.
Anytime, and have a great morning, and talk to that meteorologist about no sun until.
I will. You might want to keep the umbrella handy, though.
I'm concerned.
Thanks so much, Bruce. Bruce Banman is the BC Conservative Party whip.